The debate has raged between popular YouTube channels for years, vying for your clicks. What should a smart cruiser do when in port? Stay on board or get off the ship? Each video with a terrible picture and clickbait title. Let's dig into the debate, see what we think a smart Princess Cruise passenger should do while in port. My name's Andrew and welcome back once again to Tidal Horizons. We're your go-to source on YouTube for straight-up cruise advice, news, and information. Let's get started. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know the disdain that I have for clickbait type videos that try and scare cruise passengers one way or the other without providing any real information, statistics, or recommendations. So let's get started on your journey to being a smart Princess Cruise passenger when it comes to ports of call. This is a big section of the video because we're going to look at exactly what you should be doing even before you book the cruise to determine what you're going to do in each port. It's research time. The first thing I do when I'm researching is try to figure out where the ship is docking for each port of call. I'm looking to see if the name of the major city has another city name in brackets beside it, like Athens has Piraeus. Piraeus is the port city for Athens, about 25 minutes from the central area Plaka and the Acropolis. That city in brackets is your best indicator that the major center you want to visit isn't close to where the ship docks, and you're probably going to need a tour of some kind. Another good resource on Princess's website is their departure ports and hotels page located under booked guests and then helpful links. This has a ton of useful information on where the ship docks in relation to the city. Not all ports will be listed here. These are usually embarkation ports. Other ways to figure out where the ship docks include your travel agent. They have access to additional Princess resources. You can try to online forums like Cruise Critic or a cruise Facebook page. And finally, if you want to be super precise, Google the actual port schedule for that particular port and see if there is a calendar of port visits for the day your ship will be there. Often it will tell you the exact location of your ship's berth. So, why do I want to know where the ship is docking? Well, I want to know if I'm going to be in town or an industrial port. Do I need a tour just to leave the ship or do something, or can I do it on my own? If it's industrial, they'll often have a shuttle bus to a certain point, but usually not right into town. This goes for both docking and for tendering. If the port is listed as a tender port, it does seem to be a reasonable assumption that they will drop you off in some sort of town or built-up area of some description. If I don't know a lot about an area I'm going to visit, I always consult the government travel advisory websites such as the US Department of State, Canada's Travel Advisory page, or the UK's Foreign Travel Advice page to get a general sense of the safety of the location I'm going to visit. Travel isn't without some risks, so just because there's a heightened alert or awareness isn't going to stop me from visiting. I'm also going to take the time and read the advisory and understand what the problems are, and most importantly, where the problems are. Because why get into a panic when troubles are many, many miles away? What you do need to be aware of is that some travel insurance products will not cover you if you visit an area that the government has issued a travel ban or advised not to travel to a region. No matter where you travel, you may be showing up on a billion-dollar ship to a country that may have the same GDP as the value of that ship. Take all reasonable precautions like not taking valuables, protecting your money and identification, and not flaunting your wealth. This is very important. If in doubt, go with a licensed, reputable guide for a tour either independently or through the ship, or stay on board the ship for that day. Research is critical, and we're just one source for you. Give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more real, practical, useful cruise information, news, and reviews because facts matter. Let's take a brief pause in the research and talk a little bit about why you might consider staying on the ship instead of visiting a port. The more you cruise, the more you're probably going to end up visiting some of the same ports. Some ports you could go to an endless amount of times, but some only have a couple of reasons to visit in the first place, and if you've already done them, it might be better to just have a relaxing day on the ship. You may be concerned about personal safety, or really, maybe that port didn't hold any appeal to you in the first place. It happens especially on longer cruises. Don't feel guilty, trust your instincts. Perhaps the ship's in an industrial port or it's inconvenient to get off the ship and walk around without taking a tour. I found this with the Piraeus port for Athens after we'd already spent a week in Athens. The berth was quite a long walk in the hot sun to town. It just wasn't worth it. A tip for you though. If you use the Lotus Spa, often they will run Port Day specials because they don't get as much business. This can save you some money. Another bonus point, if you have Princess Plus, you can use that package all day long and really get your money's worth. Hopefully the pool area is quiet and you can enjoy some peaceful time on board. We'll talk about why you might not want to stay on board the ship shortly. In the meantime, let's get back to the research. Call me old-fashioned, but I still love a travel book, especially the pocket-sized ones. Sure, they get out of date fast, but for some destinations, there are tons of smaller sites to see than what you're going to find in Google. But let's take a step into the 21st century and have a look at what to do in port. The first stop is the Cruise Personalizer on Princess's website. Have a look at the excursions that Princess is offering in each port. Princess gives a really nice summary of the port along with the points of interest before getting into the actual excursions. Read the excursions and see what's interesting. If the price is right and it's a slam dunk for you, go ahead and book. Now you know the major sites, use Google and really look at what else is available in that port. What is on page 2, 3, and 4 of Google? What about activities you'd like to participate in? Sailing, diving, hiking, or fishing perhaps. See if those are activities are offered by operators in the port area. Is there a hop-on, hop-off bus? Sometimes this is sold as a tour. Is it cheaper to buy direct? How close is the bus stop to the first port? Finally, check out some reputable third-party shore excursion services that curate the best excursions in each port. My go-to is Shore Excursions Group. I have an affiliate link in the description of this video. They work with the best local tour companies and take care of all the ticketing and logistics for you with a return-to-ship guarantee. And that's a great segue into our next section. A smart cruiser plans their time well and knows when the ship arrives and departs. Say it with me. You can't do it all in one day. Be smart and don't try to cram too much into your day. You don't want to be late getting back to the ship. It will leave without you. You don't want to be one of these people. If you have an excursion, figure out what your morning needs to look like in advance and leave yourself plenty of time to get off the ship. Depending on the port and their security requirements, it can be a slow process. If you don't have an excursion, take a more leisurely approach and wait for the initial rush to clear before you try to get off the ship. If it's a tender port, the ship may use a tender ticket system where you need to pick up a ticket at a designated spot to have an assigned time to get off. Those with ship's excursions have no need for a tender ticket, or you can wait for the all clear and no tickets needed to go ashore call from the gangway. This is a great indicator that there won't be a wait. Some people hate tendering, but I often find it's a great way to get a unique view of my ship and get some good video and photos. If you choose to stay on board the ship, no one should make you feel guilty about that. But remember me saying earlier, hopefully enjoying some quiet time on board? Well, when the ship is in port and many people leave, the ship isn't just sitting there. Oftentimes, this is when major maintenance tasks are carried out by the crew, including cleaning and repainting and revarnishing the ship. You may receive a notice to remove everything from your balcony because they'll be cleaning them, which can be disruptive. They also use this time in port to do crew drills and training, so there can be extended periods of time with little to no service available. Not all bars and dining venues will be open on port days, including the dining rooms for lunch most of the time. Shopping and the casino are definitely closed while in port. Don't later regret not going ashore when you had the chance. As long as it's convenient, try to get off the ship just to walk around a bit, even if it's just in the permitted port area. Sometimes there's really good shopping opportunities right in the port itself. It depends on the port, but I rarely feel like I really know a destination after one visit on a cruise. But I hopefully get the feeling if I want to come back either by land or by ship to explore further. Most ports are worth trying at least once just to say you did it. Research is the key to everything. We've come a long way with technology. It's all at your fingertips now. Plus, ask your travel agent or Onboard with the Princess Shore Excursions desk for information. Attend the port talks early in the cruise or look to the port profiles on your stateroom TV. Lean on us here at Tidal Horizons too for general cruising knowledge, port profiles, and princess-specific information. Enjoy your port day, Smart Princess Cruiser, right after you subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thanks for watching.